Hey, what's up? Reading a new chapter of Kaiji. This one is called Narrow-Mindedness. And we had another extremely satisfying ending to the last chapter. Yet another case of the Tei representatives and Kaiji passing like two ships in the night. Totally unaware. Well, actually, Kaiji's probably aware. In this situation, he's probably not aware that it's those cars specifically, but he knows that he snaked them. He knows that he totally smoothly swooped around them. Not quite as cathartic as when he just rode the moped right past. Oh, what's his face there? But same energy, same mood. His swift dispatching to Ibaraki resulted only in their passing Kaiji's group right by as they drove the other way along the highway. The persistence only saw them driving around in circles and ended as a useless expedition for nothing. Ah, oh, oh. How satisfying. Okay, so they've managed to trick Endo into staking out Ibaraki. He thinks that Kaiji's group must be operating in here. The fact that there was the decoy car made him think that there's no way that they're traveling on the roads. They must be using public transit. So if he locks down the public transit and he locks down the banks, that should do it. Except moved around to all the nearby hotels. Again, a major red herring. They just did not think of the RV. The RV really does have a kind of a transcendent, beautiful quality to it, doesn't it? Just the owner of that RV shop and everything. It was just so perfect, and the fact that his kind of contrary ways, the way that he's acting totally out of normal accordance with society, and then enabling, in doing so, he allows them to kind of slip out of the gaze of normal society, out of the expectations of Tei. So good. Moved on to the 24-hour saunas, family-owned restaurants. These are all places that you can just hang out indefinitely. He's going to end up going to manga cafes. He's going to be stomping around the manga cafe looking for Kaiji, having to just see fat meat after fat meat lounging back and reading volume after volume of manga. Oh, what a blessed existence. Oh, if there's anyone on earth I envy. Izakaya bars. They searched them one by one, but there too Kaiji was nowhere to be found. So his final hope lied in the lookouts from Ibaraki branch of Tei's loaning outpost that he had dispatched to the nearest station to the bank, the second nearest station, and also the multitude of coin lockers in the area. Each and every one of these naturally showed no sign of Kaiji or anywhere else in this group. Misfires. This is pretty satisfying. I like how this is depicted. It has all of the kind of tension in the paneling, in kind of this like shot after shot showing these dutifully stationed black suits and stuff. It has the tension as if something bad could happen, It's depicted as if Kaiji really was here and they were cracking down on it. So we get this like really indulgent feeling of relief knowing that Kaiji is just miles and miles and miles out of the prefecture by now. Yeah, the Ibaraki lockdown was nothing more than one long misfire. Poor Endo. It's like, the stakeout arc where he knew he was right that Kaiji was at his mom's place. He came so close and he was so right, and yet this arc, he's so wrong. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, one was a defeat, but he actually had a chance. It was a defeat, but he was playing the right game. Whereas this one, he's just so far out of the ballpark. It really feels like they're just kicking him while he's down. I feel a little bad for Endo, but of course, I'm just so happy for my boys. Ah, my beautiful gambling boys. All is said is done. If the plan had been chosen by the commanding officer, the person representing the uppermost stratum of the organization is wrong, then no matter how many people or how much time or how much money is invested thereupon, the issue at hand will not advance even 1 centimeter more. He's kicking out a dog. Yeah, screw Endo. No. I thought his whole appeal is that he's supposed to be kind of like a dog, a bloodhound. But I guess actually that is what a dog would do, get mad at another dog. But no, I don't like it. Don't kick at dogs. Gosh. All this accomplished is the pointless, mistaken staking of his subordinates, forcing them to be stationed on lookout duty with no possible positive outcome. All they are doing is exhausting their stamina. If this were a war, it would be an ocean of downed troops. In the worst case, the entire battalion could have been killed. Horrific imagery here. Oh my gosh, like look at all this blood and dirt and fire. The fire is really beautiful though. Holy crap. I wouldn't have thought Fukumoto could draw something like that. Like, no offense. I mean, Fukumoto, of course, is an extremely talented and creative artist, but like, this is just so far out of his normal wheelhouse. I'm shook. I'm amazed. I'm in applaud. Makes me think he should do like a war series. Makes me think we should have the Fukumoto take on actual battlefield combat. Wouldn't that be nuts? I don't know. Maybe it'd be a little too intense. So, they're hanging out in Go-Go's Cafe. Looks like a normal family restaurant. For all we know, Kurosawa is 2 tables down. Depending on the chronological lineup of these series. Not that they're actually in the same universe. That would just be fun. So, to make matters worse, these failures, mistakes, and blunders will continue without end. The reason being that the most pivotal piece of the puzzle, the commanding officer himself, is still being led on by his mistaken, false beliefs. Eating ice? I've heard that eating ice is like a classic psychological signal that someone is frustrated, that someone is like dissatisfied with something. I don't know. I've always eaten ice. I think it's just fun. It's so crunchy and cold, you know? I don't know. I'm into it. I wouldn't just like eat a cube of ice from the ice tray. That seems depraved. But if I have a drink with ice in it, I'll usually eat the ice. So there you go. Psychoanalyze me. What does it mean? I think it means I just like eating ice. Okay. So the black suits very hesitantly try to breach the topic. They want a little more information. Where in Ibaraki do you think Kaiji's group is? And of course, he's going to respond by like, if I knew that, why would I be staking out all of Ibaraki? But they're not going to be satisfied with that and say, idiot, they're not even here. Well, so he knows? The train stations are one thing, but the coin lockers. The fact they haven't even shown themselves at the coin-operated lockers can only mean those guys anticipated this kind of thing happening and enacted a countermeasure. Okay, and here in the back we can see an ice machine. It's on his mind. Endo's talking to this black suit, but really he's looking at the ice machine like, oh, I just want to crunch more of that ice. Oh God, just give me a cup full of ice right now. I could barely take this. Okay, so he knows the current stakeout and stuff is pointless, and yet he's continuing? What does this mean? If they came here by railway, they might have decided that if anything came up in the interim, they would leave by taking a taxi. This one seems obvious, right? Even though they didn't think of the RV, they should have thought of the taxi. It's not like they can't afford a taxi out of the prefecture. They can afford whatever the hell they want. They set up a countermeasure ahead of time to make sure they could do whatever they needed to. From what the witness who saw Kaiji told us, about halfway through their encounter, Kaiji began to act distinctly agitated. Yes, yes, yes. Now, of course, the man making the report probably didn't clue in that Kaiji would have seen the wanted poster with his face and stuff back when he dropped his wallet. But he is smart enough to know that Kaiji was onto something, that he was agitated in some way. Very smart, yeah. If you realize that Kaiji knew he was the man in the bulletin, whether he would be reported in a state of emergency because of it, so after he left the bank, instead of just leaving normally, he shifted over to his emergency escape operation instead. Very insightful, very, very good. They have no idea what that emergency escape operation is. He basically was like, Endo probably realized this from the start, that this was the most likely outcome, but he still had to do due diligence. He still had to stake out Ibaraki, because he didn't know for sure, right? These guys went to make their deposit in the bank, and just leave the most of the money in their locker. Actually, had the other 2 people take shifts looking after it. Nearby coffee shop or somewhere. Oh, this image is so good. Chang and Mario relaxing over a coffee, with 2.4 billion yen in various containers just kind of sitting around them. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so cozy. This is the life I want to see out of them. This is the future I want. But of course with my guy Kaiji there too. See, they anticipated the coin lockers would be places we'd watch. Right, right. Yes, as long as they have their money with them, all they need to do is call a taxi over to their coffee shop and break away. Put the money in the trunk, space on the floor in front of the back seats, they manage it. Yeah. Or you can get a big taxi. When I was in Japan during the great shipping operation, where we shipped all of the stuff we bought so far back home so that we have more space in our luggage to buy more stuff, because we are lunatics, we ordered like a big taxi to take all of that stuff to the post office. What an insane day that was. Holy. Anyways, I see. Black suits are in awe. They're so in awe of Endo's insights that it kind of seems like they're forgetting about how mad they are for all of this unnecessary stakeout and stuff. This is a cool shot of the family restaurant. This is something that Fukumoto loves to draw. We've seen it in so many Kurosawa panels and stuff. You know, I'd like to see both an extremely intense war manga from Fukumoto, but I'd also love to see a slice of life series about the people who hang out in family restaurants. I think both of those would be right up his alley. Kaiji's group would have most likely still used the station, but this time the witness did way too much like our subordinates and put Kaiji on his guard 120%. That Nagasaka is trash. Yeah, that's true. He shouldn't have at all let on that he knew what Kaiji was up to, right? Like, he kind of needed the bank teller to shout out Kaiji's name, which is what made Kaiji so sure that he would be recognized. That was something totally outside of his control. He just got lucky about. And moreover, he spent that whole time like staring at Kaiji, acting as if he recognized him from somewhere. If he hadn't done that, then Kaiji probably wouldn't have been anywhere near as paranoid to begin with. And wouldn't have tried to run out on the bank, causing the bank teller to call out. So, yeah, if he just recognized Kaiji and then acted perfectly normal, they probably would have got him. It was all down to Nagasaka. He did okay, but in the end, he stumbled. A bit less obvious of the suspicion. Yeah. Could have caught Kaiji and the other two at the station, apprehended them all in one go. Okay, so that wouldn't have happened. But they would have had a much, much better chance, because they probably would have just kept going to banks as normal in this case. Of course, still hanging out in the RV. And all it would take is one other person to spot him at any bank. They follow him back to the RV. That's GG no re. We ought to have been raising our glasses in celebration by now. He's shoveling more ice into his mouth. Maybe I do love Endo. I don't know. You're so close, memory director. There's always next time, isn't there? Next time we'll get them. No, all wrong. Yeah, he's totally wrong. I mean, he's close, but he's wrong. He has all of the mindset correct. He's correctly anticipated what Kaiji was thinking, what kind of countermeasures he's trying to enact, the sort of precautions that Kaiji had and why. That's all right on the money. He just has no idea what their plan actually is. That they had traveled by camper van. It was much too fixated on railroad travel. To speak frankly, is far too heavily affected by the Previa shock. I love that they refer to it as the Previa shock. He's just crunching away on his ice. That's really funny. He was out of iced coffee, and that's why he was eating the ice. Sometimes I worry that I look like that when I'm eating ice at a restaurant, that I'm looking really impatient, and that they think I'm trying to send some really passive-aggressive signal, come over and fill up my water or whatever. That's not it, I just want to eat ice. Is there something so wrong about this? Ice Eaters Anonymous. Ice Eaters not anonymous. My name is Keatsta. I am a manga YouTuber, and I will eat ice if it's in my drink and I feel like it. I'm taking a stand. One way or another, they managed to stealthily slip away from our grasp this time. Doesn't necessarily mean that the needle on our compass to now needs to be readjusted at all. PBS. Ah! This must be the method by which Tei debtors are reporting any possible Kaiji sightings. That's their real big victory. is that that system works. And that if they just keep their debtors informed and their debtors keep going out to places like banks, maybe this could happen again. That was the real success. Okay. Business. Oh, hey. That's what it means. I thought it was bulletin board system. I thought they had rigged up a whole BBS for Tei debtors to post on when they saw stuff. But this is way more fun. Business hotels, banks, and stations. Yeah. That's the three focal parts we need to watch to apprehend Kaiji. So the only one they've got rid is banks. That's the only one that actually matters, because they sleep in the RV and they travel by the RV. The RV, man, it's just such a beautiful blind spot. It's so good. It's like this beautiful, transcendent thing. Just so far out of their expectations. But they are right in watching banks, that's for sure. No need to change their plan or readjust their compass needle at all. Too bad! Their needle and their compass was malfunctioned to begin with. 2/3 of their focus was mistaken. Off the mark. Even the narration panels reflect just how askew their perspective is. This is a rare thing to happen. The narration panels are Dutch angles. How fun. Kaiji's group had no need for business hotels or stations at all. And here the narration writes itself as we're talking about the glory of our Asian trio and their schemes. Then, of course, while we're on the subject, not even the coin operation lockers they once had used would need to be paid a visit ever again. Transport, lodging, place to conceal their cash. The RV! Oh, I love the RV. It's just so cozy. And the origin story is so wonderful. They already had something that fulfilled all three of these at once. A magical box called a camper van to take care of their basic needs. And look at how comfy they are inside of it. Just hanging out. You think Chang's drinking a beer? I hope he's drinking a beer. They all deserve a beer now. It's all going well. Yeah, I think this is a beer. Ah, and convenience store bento. Oh, I love convenience store bento. I can't think of anything much cozier. The fact that they've like, I don't know, we have these crises. This one they got out of so masterfully. The enemy is like 5 steps behind. And then it's not like in the normal Kaiji arcs, you know, where the equivalent situation is something is happening in the gamble, Kaiji makes a big victory, and then he's like, okay, I need to press this advantage. Like, it's, and the few counterexamples we have to this where Kaiji actually celebrates, he starts, you know, floating, as he famously did in One Poker Hen. Those always end up in disaster, right? And it's that he really needs to focus for the rest of the arc. Like, there is no chance for celebration until he's won the whole thing, even if he has masterfully outplayed the opponent. Whereas here, the reward is immediate and obvious and oh so cozy. They know that they're so far away, that they've dodged them so completely this time. They can just crack a beer. How nice. And meanwhile, while they chow down on this delicious convenience store food, Endo, of course, is still chomping away at his ice cubes. Moi. One thing that Endo had not misjudged with his compass was the most critical point of them all. Banks. The only place they were right was to watch banks. The state of affairs is beginning to shift for that as well. So this is Kaiji's new twist on depositing. And I don't think this has been explained to us yet, because it's probably a plan that's going to work. So I think we're going to have to wait until the next chapter to find out what's going on with that. Deposit the money like that, yeah, we definitely haven't heard it yet. Safety at the bank should be pretty damn near guaranteed. The horde of zombies Tei sent out with that flyer will be rendered powerless for a short time, but if not with our secret move. She has a brilliant plan. Okay. On break next issue, unfortunate. I love this shot of all the Tei debtors, though. So much love and personality in every single one of their faces. You gotta wonder, like, what kind of life has Fukumoto lived? This is something I wonder all the time. Like, what is his personal connection to gambling? What is his personal connection to being in debt, being destitute? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I really don't. Okay, all right. Let's just, we can't speculate. Speculating on the life of a great man like Fukumoto Nobuyuki Sensei, it's just not worth it. We have more than enough just reading his works. Okay, bye-bye for now.